Alright everybody, so welcome back to round 4, the winning round of tonight's Friday Night Magic tournament from Lost Legion Games and Comics. As always, I'm Zachary Evans. I'm joined by Yin Sang and Joseph Deal, and we're already into the action. As we see on the left, the local legend, Adam Vickers, suiting up a turn 1 Rakdos Cackler with the Madcap skills off of an emissary. And this game might be over before it even starts, as Joe Lewis's opponents played a turn 1 tapped Steam Vent. So Azorius Charm is open, which is more than likely to play here on the Cackler. Nope, it's going to be a burn. So he's going to take 2 from the emissary, drop him to 13. Let's see if Adam has a follow-up. We're going to see a Reckoner here. No, just passing back. So
alright.
Adam all in on those early plays. I think he has at least one Hellrider in his hand, but nothing to not a 4th land. So there's a good chance Adam has multiple Hellriders in his hand. It's a pretty good spot to be in. Well, no, he's just going to start commencing the burn your face mode. Joe playing another land untapped there. Be interesting to see what card he's trying to cast. Maybe a
no, the second round that came in last turn.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
And he just untapped and missed his land drop.
Ah, that's what happened. That makes a lot more sense. And there is the Boros Reckoner, and that gets syncopated. Or as Adam Vickers calls it, syncopate. Yes, the Boros Reckoner is removed from the game, but don't worry, Adam's deck can't interact with his own graveyard, so. At least not in Game 1. In Game 2, he has Scavenging Oozes, so I'll make sure to go remind him. There is a Flinthoof Boar. Give it some haste. An attempt to attack for 5. Azorius Charm. On the Boar, it's interesting he chooses to Azorius Charm the haste creature there, but by doing so, he leaves himself out of Searing Spear range. Though I'm not sure that's incredibly relevant, but we're going to see the same attack here. And the Dissipate will answer the Boar the second time around. Still, Joe knocked down to 2, and Searing Spear for the win. So just like he drew it up using every card in his hand, Vickers racks up another. Vickers has been running roughshod through Standard at this shop in the last few weeks with this deck. He second placed the Modern Winnabox tournament, 40-person tournament. He split the finals of the 25-man Star City Game IQ with it. He's done very well at multiple FNMs. He's the #1 rated Adam Vickers at the store.
I would hope so.
Tonight I think he's the only Gruul pilot. We did have a Star City IQ a couple last weekend, and the finals was split by 2 Gruul Aggro decks. Brandon Gibbs, and the difference in their deck being that Gibbs runs main deck Burning Earth, and Vickers runs main deck Hellriders. And I don't think one is better than the other. It's just a matter of what are you trying to beat. If you're trying to beat control decks like the American decks, you want to be playing with a Burning Earth.
Yes.
If you expect creature decks, then you want the Hellrider.
I think Burning Earth is probably more solid in general. But
there are some decks that Burning Earth doesn't really interact with that well. Like the blue-white decks that have transitioned to basically saying we're not going to play the Searing Spears and Helix just so we don't die to Burning Earth. They play Detention Spheres. The Rock deck is not necessarily that. It's not good against them because they have Abrupt Decay's main, as well as Vraska and Great Gaze of Granite.
Decay doesn't deal with it, but
Golgari Charm. Yeah, Decay doesn't. Right. Golgari Charm, I should say.
Yeah.
So one more round of Swiss here to go. We only have 20 players tonight, so that means 4 rounds of Swiss, followed by a cut to top 8. Your undefeated players tonight, as I fix my camera yet again because it's a piece of dog's crap. It's actually not the camera, it's some kind of setting or something. It occasionally does this, and it's very annoying. Look at that pouring. Undefeated players tonight. Alec Myers playing Junk Aristocrats. and Jeremy Lanham playing Mono Red. We saw both of them on the stream earlier tonight. The other undefeated, Vinny Lucenti, who's a player visiting us from up in Columbus. So just come down here and run roughshod through our FNM, so thanks a lot. Taking all the money, going back up to Columbus. He got paired against Jordan Petio. I think they're playing, but I think they're just playing for fun. Vinny...
Wait, actually, there's enough sixes there. I don't know if that's going to be...
Yeah, there's enough. He can scoop him in. Yeah, because the maximum number of nines is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Yeah, that's true.
But I think Vinny doesn't get it. Vinny actually, his wife had a baby about 6 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And so Vinny doesn't get to play as much Magic as he would like to. But they had a trip in. The whole family's in here this weekend for some other activities, and so he decided to come over, meet the guys here at the store. I've talked to Vinny on Facebook for the last year, probably, because Columbus is not that far away, obviously. Essentially our home location for big events.
Yeah.
So he's undefeated, and he's paired down against Jordan Petio, who's playing American Flash. We saw lose to Jeremy Lanham thanks to a top deck Searing Spear in the previous rounds. Your winning ends are Derek Biondi. What's Derek playing? Junk?
Yes.
Something? Derek Biondi playing Junk against Logan Cutlip on Elves. Brian Gross, who's also on Elves, playing against Troy King, who's playing Bant Aggro Homebrew. And then the matchup you're watching here, Joe Lewis and the local legend, Adam the Vicker Vickers. Hey, while these guys are sideboarding, it'd be an excellent opportunity to go try and win these promo Lingering Souls. We gave away 2 last week. We're giving away 2 this week. Head over to our Facebook page at facebook.com/ZachSalesMagic, or go to my Twitter feed, twitter.com/ZachSalesMagic. There's information at both locations on how you can enter to win. Who doesn't like those? So you can put those in your modern junk deck. You can put those in your legacy Esper deck. You can then quit playing Legacy because it's boring as all hell to play Lingering Souls in the format that has ad nauseum.
Why do I need a new coin?
He was just making a joke. He was just saying that we're doing fundraisers to upgrade all of our tech. Like new cameras, a new beard, new pour rings.
I have a purple ring. It's just not here.
Is there another thing called a popo ring?
Yes, it's green. It's literally just a green pour ring.
You learned it here first, folks. There's something called a popo ring, and Yin has it. All right. So we're off to the races here in Game 2. Joe on the play, having lost Game 1. See if he can draw even here with this American Flash deck against the unrelenting beatdown of Adam Vickers' Gruul Aggro deck. Ratchet Bomb. Ratchet Bomb, obviously a sideboard card that Joe's bringing in. I'm assuming to try and pick off some 1-drops. I guess he's just bringing in all the removal he can, though he can at some point take that up to 4 if he wants to get rid of a Burning Earth. And then we see a Scavenging Ooze that the Gruul deck sideboards into in this matchup specifically to counteract the effects of Snapcaster Mage. We're going to burn something. We're burning the Stromkirk Noble before it gets a chance to grow to 3 toughness. But that does allow Adam to eat it mid-combat, put Joe down to 16. And I just heard Jordan make the Reckoner I barely knew her joke. So Joe's sitting pretty here with the full grip, 3 lands, Ratchet Bomb on 2, staring down just a Scavenging Ooze. It's in a pretty good spot here. Adam draws another land off the top. So he has the Hellrider. The question is he going to run it out into what is, without a doubt, going to be a counterspell? Or even a Restoration Info to make Hellrider very good in this spot. And I'm a pretty patient player. I figure he's willing to sit on. Is Joe deciding whether or not he wants to ratchet bomb here?
Ratchet bomb's at 1.
Set 2.
Set 2.
That would make sense.
It would.
I didn't see him.
What good are you, Yin?
Not.
What is the strategic reason for not blowing it at 2? Searing Spear to your face. Do it again. In response, Joe is going to go ahead and eat the scavenging ooze. Was he just trying to protect his turn and burn, or, I mean, I don't think that can be correct. Flint Hook, oh no, another ooze. So is Joe going to counter it? No, he's going to Sphinx's Revelation at end of turn, draw 2 cards. In response, is Adam going to Skullcrack here? No, he's just going to eat his other ooze and grow his active ooze while Joe is tapped out and can't burn it in response. So Joe drawing 2 cards, gaining 2 life. Hasn't missed his land drops here. So normally be a pretty good situation, but there's a Pillar of Flame on the ooze. That's going to resolve, and we're going to see a Snapcaster on Pillar of Flame and finish it off. I think Adam's going to be pretty content with that, because he's going to slam the Hellrider here, right?
Yeah.
And I guess, well, but now the Hellrider can trade for all of Joe's team. Or is this a Burning Earth? No! Burning Earth and Legion Loyalist. One of those is better than the other in the slot. And of course, Joe revealing a War Leader's Helix off of his Augur Bolts, which at this point, given how Joe chooses to tap, will do 4 damage and gain no life.
1 yeah. 4 damage for 4 mana.
So,
he does have basic mountain.
So we'll gain him 1 life. This is the point in the game where we see how many detention spheres Joe has in a 75. So Adam very patient not to run that Burning Earth out earlier. And there is a Hellrider. So we're going to take, Adam's going to take 1 from the Burning Earth for the Stomping Ground. 2 damage. I think Joe is waiting here. So Joe's going to take 3. He's going to gain 1, or gain 4, so it's going to put him up to 10. He's going to kill the Hellrider before combat. And then Adam is content to trade his Snapcaster Mage with the Legion Loyalist. And Joe is on the...
Is there a reason why he didn't just tap him out?
To do what?
Yeah, he tapped the Rootbound Crag and this.
He probably
just didn't notice it, I guess.
He probably forgot. I mean, quite literally, because that's one of those cards like Thalia that feels like it's asymmetric. I mean, how many people have cast Rancor for 1 with their own Thalia out because you're used to playing that against your opponent, you know, as a means to affect your opponent. So Joe dropping down to 7 in order to play a Restoration Angel. Pillar of Flame revealed off of the Augur Blink. Then Joe's just going to try and race this Burning Earth here. As it stands, Joe wins this race.
By not casting it.
Yeah, well, that's how he's going to win this game, is to not cast any more spells. Adam Hellbent playing a Rampager off the top of his deck. I guess we hadn't updated the life total from that Restoration Angel. They had updated their pad, but not the life total. So Joe serving in for 4 there. Then playing Renounce the Guilds, forcing him to take 1, because he does have 1 basic land, but forcing Adam to sack his dude.
Adam draws a land. Yay.
But I don't know what's in Joe's hand because he's not holding it in a way that we can see it. But there's a chance that a Searing Spear off the top is good enough. It's a strong Kirk Noble. What was in Joe's hand? We'll never know. So we thought when the Burning Earth made an appearance and stuck, that would be the end of the game. It was not. Joseph Deal has just left the building.
Yes.
So we move on to Game 3. Not only is this the deciding round, as one of these players will move to 3-1 and join the ranks of the top 8, and the other will likely be on the outside looking in. But it is in fact the third game of the deciding match. So much tension, Yin. Can you even deal with it? Are you losing your mind?
My ginger ale.
Luckily, you have the delicious subtle tones of a Canada Dry ginger ale to.
Yeah, it's Canada Dry too.
It's Canadian.
It's not Seagrams or whatever.
Yeah, Prismatic Walrus in the chat mentioning that Adam had already used all 4 of his Searing Spears, so it would need to be a Skull Crack, which is a good point, because Joe was going to be dead to his own Dissipates or Syncopates or whatever. Any of the counter spells he would cast from that point would be dead as well. But Adam found instead a strong Kirk Noble. More importantly, Adam will be on the play in this game, which, as we all know, is a huge advantage for the Gruul Aggro deck. This is clearly the fastest deck in the format, right? The Gruul deck. I guess the Naya Blitz deck, if I know people aren't playing it anymore, but that was ultimately the fastest deck because it would win on turn 4.
Right.
But this one is pretty darn fast as well.
It's fast. This one's the fast deck that people actually still play. Yes.
Right. Well, while these guys are shuffling up for the final match, I'll go ahead and remind everyone to patronize our sponsors as best they can. Obviously, if you're ever in the greater West Virginia area, make sure to head into one of Lost Legion's 4 locations in Parkersburg, Princeton, Beckley, or right here in South Charleston. Literally 3 major interstates are within 5 minutes from the store, one of which I could pick up a rock and throw it and land on the interstate. Almost. But it is very close. And then covered up by Adam's Life Total page, but inkedplaymats.com hooks us up with a sweet custom double playmat. If you want your own custom playmats printed, or you'd just like to buy some cheap, high-quality playmats that already have pre-selected art, head over to their website at inkedplaymats.com. And finally, if you're in the market for Magic singles, head over to affinityforcards.com. Obviously, we encourage everyone to support the local game store, but we all know there are cards you need for decks you want to play that you just can't find in your local display case, and if that's the case, head over to affinityforcards.com for some of the lowest prices on the net. Use coupon code LOSTLEGION, all one word, for 5% off your first order.
I sold a bunch of cards to them.
You did sell a bunch of cards to them at the PTQ. How were Nick's buy prices?
Very good.
Reasonable to...
Probably
more than he should be paying on a lot of cards. He actually talked. I was actually talking to him today, and he was like, "Yeah, I think I overpaid on." He's about 5 cards he bought, not in mass, but a lot of.
Like the oozes or something.
Yeah, well, that was one he identified. But I also told him, number 1, you're not going to lose money on those. Number 2, it may not be done growing. Number 3, you didn't overpay that much. And number 4, that drives business. You're gonna have a loss leader, get people to come to the store. I know he traded for 3 oozes out of his foil binder. So $49 worth of, bulkish foils for 3 oozes. That's a win.
Yeah, definitely.
And this has been MTG Finance Corner with Dean and Zach. All right, so here we're at it. Vickers and Joe both mulliganing to 6. Adam starting out with a turn 1 strong Kirk Noble. Joe starting with a tapped Clip Trap Retreat, which usually indicates he either only has 1 land or a second land is a shock land he needs to come into play untapped. No, it's a Cavern Soul, so he's clearly on a 2-land draw, right?
Yeah.
There's nothing about that sequencing of lands that suggests I'm okay with what's about to happen. Right?
And he has no blue sources right now.
He doesn't, but he does have a burn for that Strom Kirk Noble. And here comes the Reckoner. So Joe in a bit of a spot here. Looks like he has found a third land, though. It's a Sacred Founder. So again, no blue mana, or at least no blue mana that can be used to cast spells. I bet Joe only has one Cavern of Souls, but a Celestial Flare is going to eat that Boros Reckoner. But still going to take a 2 from the Stronghold Noble, and more importantly, it's now going to grow to a spot where...
Wait, can he cast Celestial Flare? It's 2 white, right?
Yeah, is it...
Oh. Okay then.
It's Renounce the Guild, it's not Celestial Flare.
That's why you killed the Reckoner.
Yeah, I said Celestial Flare, I meant the multicolored one.
Well, they're both like cards that kind of look similar in art, and didn't see which one it actually was.
And then Adam hardcast Boros Reckoner, or Orclan. Going to eat the Stronghold Noble. I'm going to drop to 12 off the Reckoner. Adam's going to unleash a Rakdos Cackler. So Joe may have drawn out of this here.
Seems like it.
He's drawn like 3 straight lands because there's no sequence of plays which would have resulted in. Well, maybe there is. Maybe he was just trying to maximize his life total.
Highly unlikely. But
well, because the way he's played here, he's going to double block.
Yeah.
Joe's either been drawn, he's been very lucky in his draws, or there's a sequence in where he plays that Cavern of Souls on 2 just so he doesn't shock himself to be able to cast that turn, because he only needs 1 red for it. I'd say it's more.
I guess so, but he would still have been playing the Clifftop first.
I'd say more likely is that he's just been pretty fortunate with his draws. In response, another Renounce the Guilds, eating the Rakdos Cackler. And now, Joe, having not drawn enough lands to start the game, Joe has drawn nothing but land for the rest of the game. But he does have Adam on the ropes here. He's at 12 life. Oh, and of course, the last card in his hand is the Sphinx's Revelation.
I think Joe wins.
You think?
Yeah. This game has ended.
So Joe now back up to a very healthy 16 life, serving in with the 3/4 creature, obviously drawing another angel at the minimum. Yeah, Joe. Well, Magic is very easy when you draw your entire sideboard as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Think twice and flashing back, think twice.
JB needs to see that one.
What?
Here's
What
your
I do?
FTVs, probably.
What?
Here's
I
your
picked up my
Oh.
TV.
He probably needs to punch you in the face then.
Probably.
Did you win, Garrett?
Yes, I did.
Good. So you're
Also,
three.
totally fooled you in.
Oh, you lied to him? That's very good. Oh, but now poor JV's going to be so confused.
That's the best part of it.
Oh, it's a Zing Onion and JV. So we've watched Joe have probably the best draw that he could ever have.
Joe has, just from a quick viewpoint, Joe has 9 lands in play and Vickers has 4.
Well,
I'm
Joe...
assume that Joe's cast multiple Sphinx's Revelations at this point.
He cast 1. I don't know. It was the last card in his hand, and that was the one he had. I don't know exactly how it is because we never saw his hand, but there's a sequence. The way Joe started the game on Tap, Clifftop, Retreat, Cavern of Souls suggested to me that he probably had a 2-lane hand and then drew 3 consecutive lands, 2 Renounce the Guild, a Celestial Flare, and a Sphinx's Revelation. So... unfortunately for Joe, he's using all of his run good in the win-and-in match.
Right.
What's up, guys?
What happened, Ian?
JB had to tell me that Garrett's a dick.
So good. Meanwhile, Joe wins. Congratulations, Joe. He had all the answers.
Yeah. Alright. My head's back up.
All right. Later, Ian. Thanks for stopping by, Ian.
Yeah, I know.
Is there enough time for